here bringing Fairy Tail chapter 325, Unity. So the chapter begins right where we left off. Natsu is gonna fight against Future Rogue, who is trying to kill Lucy to prevent her from closing the gates, bringing destruction and chaos into the world when the 10,000 dragons show up. So Loki, Wendy, and the Exceeds lead Lucy away. Future Rogue tries to shadow charge at them, try to make sure they don't escape. And if you look closely at that panel, you can see that his right eye is covered by some sort of scar. However, Natsu is able to intercept him and uses a Fire Dragon Slayer punch twice in the head, knocking Future Rogue back. Now, according to Future Rogue, in the future, Natsu actually gets killed by the dragons. And, you know, since it's because of that, it wouldn't have mattered to Future Rogue whether he died at that moment because he was going to die anyway. So, Natsu is going to die when the 10,000 dragons are going to show up. Well, they're screwed, and if that actually happens, then I'm pretty sure the Natsu haters are going to be really happy. So Future Rogue tries to attack Natsu with a shadow claw, but it didn't work, and then Natsu goes on saying, "You took away something precious to me right before my eyes." He's talking about Future Lucy, right? Because it doesn't really affect present Lucy if Future Lucy is dead, so you could have, I mean, Lucy is still alive, so what? I mean, I know Future Lucy is supposed to be a being, but, I mean, come on! It's Lucy from the future! If she didn't even intercept that attack, both Lucys would have died anyway, so either way, Future Lucy was gonna die. Although, she could have, like, pulled down present Lucy and they would both avoided the attack. But then again, you wouldn't have a reason for Natsu to be pissed off so that he could attack Future Rogue. So before we could see more of the fight, or we could go back to the Eclipse, no, we have to cut back to Mira Jane, who is looking for Yukino, who is sulking because she's blaming herself for everything that has happened. Whenever she's around people, she always brings bad luck and misfortune. So Mira Jane comforts her, telling her that they wouldn't blame other people for their misfortunes. Yeah, as much as I like that touching moment between Mira Jane and Yukino, I actually don't care. I don't care. It's not that I don't hate Yukino or anything. Yeah, I kind of feel bad, but considering that 10,000 dragons are on their way to destroy, to cause chaos and destruction, and considering that another person from the future is fighting against Natsu and they're about to open Eclipse, we have to spend a little more time with Yukino, who is starting to have doubts about herself. I'd rather go back with the dragons. I'm sorry, it's just, I don't care that much. I just don't. I'm sorry if I sound cold-hearted, but considering the pacing of the manga, I want to get to the dragon, considering like what happened. So we finally cut back to the Eclipse Gate, and they are starting to open the gates. So far, the dragons have not appeared near the east or the west, and they started just now evacuating the people. Lucy, Wendy, and the Exes finally meet up with the princess. So the princess actually apologizes to them about everything that has been happening, and also congratulated them for their victory in the Grand Magic Games. Don't remind me of that chapter. I'm still mad about that. So the reason why the princess is opening the gates so early was because it takes time to actually charge the Eclipse cannon. Then Lucy tells Arcadios and the princess that Future Lucy has been killed by the second person from the future, Future Rogue. And they even tell them that, according to him, that Lucy would be the one to interfere, which she wouldn't interfere. Now it turns out there really is a king, and we actually finally introduced to him Tomai I Fiore. He's at Crocus Center Square. He's gathering all the magical guilds, so just in case that there will be a couple hundred dragons that have survived from the Eclipse cannon, and he's asking them to help use their magic to save their town and to stop these dragons. And of course all the guilds agree to this, and then the king starts crying, I guess being moved by how much the guilds care for their country and how they're willing to sacrifice their lives to stop the dragons. Yeah, I know Arcadios might be a different case considering he was a former dragon slayer, but can regular magic defeat dragons, or do we have to rely on the dragon slayers to do that? Because 10,000 dragons is a lot. And I don't know if like basic magic or any kind of magic that's not dragon slayer magic will be able to defeat them. So the king starts still crying and kept saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the characters are starting to have this like weird look. I don't know why. Is it because he's crying or something? I heard a rumor that saying that the king might actually be the pumpkin guy. Also, he's very short. Just wanted to point that out. While this was going on, we get to see Lahar and Doranbul. They're going to report to the Magical Council about the Eclipse and the 10,000 dragons. However, Jalal actually runs into them and without covering himself, exposing him, considering he's a wanted vigilante and all that, but since, 10,000 dragons, not that much important, he has a request to ask for Lahar and Doranbalt, which we don't know what it is because we had to cut back to Natsu and Future Rogue. Now, Natsu says that Future Rogue reeks of evil and asks him that he didn't actually come to save the future. Now, Rogue doesn't actually give him an answer, but he just smiles. So I'm like, is he evil? Because that would probably make sense if he's not. I mean, Mashima, come on, just reveal that he's evil. It's freaking obvious, right? I mean, just by the look at him, I just don't trust Future Rogue. Honestly, I think he could be evil. Now, the chapter ends with the Eclipse Gate finally opening. So that is Fairy Tail chapter 325. What did I think? This was an okay chapter. And I know that Mashima just wants to build up suspense and all that, but just get to the point. Just get to the freaking point. Now, next week's chapter is called Natsu vs. Rogue, so we're probably focusing more on that fight. Knowing how long these fights are going, this probably might last for 2 chapters, and then probably get back to the Eclipse Gate. Now, the question is there really an Eclipse canon? For all we know, Future Rogue might be lying. And speaking of Future Rogue, is he evil? Yes, I think he's evil. Because, I mean, from what Natsu said and from how determined he is to kill Lucy. Now, if he was evil, then the question is why he's so hell-bent on killing Lucy. My theory is that I guess why he wants to kill Lucy if he was evil, because I think he would think that Lucy would be the one to stop him. Would actually be the one to stop the dragon somehow, and maybe there was a reason why she closed the gate. We don't know what the reason is. Maybe the 10,000 dragons are going to go through that gate, for all we know. I mean, we only knew that one dragon existed, and that was Acnologia. Now, an actual real dragon that is not like a dragons that are turned into dragons, we don't know where exactly they were. We know that Igneel was in like some sort of lava land. Maybe the Eclipse Gate isn't really a canon and it's just a gateway to bring the dragons back, I guess. I don't know. And the thing is, I still think that Future Rogue might be the one who possessed Rogue to go kill Gagio, because the thing is, when Rogue was possessed by a shadow, he called himself the one who just controls fate and destiny. Future Rogue is like going all on about destiny and fate. So I still have the feeling that Future Rogue may have been the one to possess Rogue. If not, then it must have been something else. But all I know is that next week's chapter better get to the point and reveal that Future Rogue is evil, or at least go to the gates, go to the Eclipse Gates and see whether there really is an Eclipse 2 canon. I just wanted to get to the climax so we could actually enjoy something from Fairy Tail after that tournament. So yeah, that is Fairy Tail chapter 325. This was actually a decent chapter. I'm going to Spiral 27, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.